Like
First,
I'm the chairman of the Central Committee of Ex-Muslim in Scandinavia, and I'm the member of the Central Committee of Worker Communist Party of Iran or Iran.
yeah,
Like that, our party is like the most, how to say, united and the, how to say, more inspiring sort of like left party among like Iranian politics. Like we have like international TV channel on satellite, and yeah, like the members, like we have over thousands of members and 400 people who are like clearly working, and around 70 people of like a member of the central committee. So I think we are the biggest among the Iranian politics environment regarding like lefties and communism and socialism and stuff.
that's really impressive. That's great. That's great. So what about the like religious fundamentalism in Iran? So we know that like Khomeini is the religious fanatic, and we know that he is governing with the theocracy, and we know that the political Islam is the main ideology driving them. So like, what is the thing? Like, what is the threat of that religious fundamentalism that you have
Yeah.
suffered, that the Iranian
Uh,
society is suffering?
Yeah, as you guys most probably know, like in 1997, there was a revolution against the kingdom, against the Shah. And like there was like different group of people participating in the revolution. There were like Islamists, lefties, like some groups like Mujahideen, which is like a mostly like a mixture of like communism and like Islamism, like communism in the term that they understand it. Like we at the Worker Communist Party of Iran, we have like a different understanding of communism. But like what's so-called those days of communism, like Mujahideen was a mixture of like a lefties and Islamists. After a conference somewhere in Spain known as like a Guadeloupe conference, like the capitalism, the bourgeois, the leader of like most important countries like UK, Soviet Union, and like US and stuff, they supported Khomeini and Islamists as the alternative for the king, for the Shah. So basically, by their support, they could oppress the other group of the like other groups who had participated in the revolution, like the lefties, as I said, communists, or like some others. And since then, like we have specifically of a like political movement called Islamism, or like Islamic political movement, and Islamic Republic is the symbol or like the agent of such political party in Iran. We have Taliban in Afghanistan, we have Erdogan in Turkey, ISIS, Al Qaeda, these sort of like groups. I think they all belong to the same movement, and you can see like very similarities between all of them, and I think they are supported by the capitalist government in the West. Like no matter they say like we don't like terrorism, we condemn Islamic terrorism in Europe and in the West, but if you have a like deep the deep look and analyze how they behaved with the Islamists over these 4 decades, over these 40 years, I think everyone can say that like the West is cooperating with the Islamists. They are like there is benefits for capitalist government in the world to have Islamists in the Middle East. Right now, we have this is the irony, or like the most interesting part of the whole scenario. After 40 years, after 43 years of Islamic became the government, like Islamism are part of the government, yeah? We have a generation in Iran. They said like over 70%, 75% of the Iranian are under age of 35. We have a generation that do not accept the values and the rule of Islam and the government. So basically, it's a battle between the young generation, specifically girls, uh, with the Islamists, with the government. And it somehow goes up, so you can see like the battle is at the bloom, and sometimes it's like very calm but still in there. We had this like burning hijab and removing hijab from I think 5 or 6 years ago. There was a bunch of girls known as revolutionary girls they started like, like removing the hijab and be against the Islamic regime. And since then, we have like, the massive movement of women. And now today we're talking after the murder, after the killing of Mahsa Amini, the 22 years old girl who got killed by the Islamic morale police because of the compulsory hijab law in Iran. There's like a massive protest at the moment. They say like it's a women's revolution, female revolution, something like that. And if you're interested in Mansour Hikmat, like, one of the most important quotes of Mansour Hikmat is the upcoming revolution in Iran would happen by the women. So it's going to be like a women's revolution. He said that like 30 years ago. And now today, everyone's just talking about the women's revolution in Iran. And there's like a massive protest all around the country. Right now, we're talking, there's like, battle in the University of Tabriz and Isfahan. Yesterday or last night, there was like, the Islamic police attacked the Sharif University in Tehran and a Tehran University also. So basically, as I said, there is like a massive battle between the Islamic regime and the young generation who do not accept the Islamic values. One more thing I would like to add, the number of atheism, the number of non-believers is dramatically rising in Iran. There is statistics by this organization called Gaman, which are based in Netherlands. They said like only 30%. This is like a very interesting statistics, and it's academic. So they have like all the sources online, so you can have a look if you like. Only 30% of the Iranians see themselves as Muslim. Only 30%. 70% converted to like atheists. They're ex-Muslim, basically. And I was just talking to like Richard Dawkins during the Cone seminar, and he was saying like, that's a very interesting like statistics. Like what's really happening in Iran is just like, very overwhelming and fascinating. Like, just as an atheist activist, just like, energize me to see like what's happening in that country. The young generation of the Iranian do not really believe in Islam. That's fantastic. And that's the battle, I think. I mean, that's the things happening in Iran at the moment. A young generation who do not accept the Islamic values no more.
It's really great to know, especially that statistics that is new for me. That 70% thing, that is really good. Like that is really
I can send you the link if you like. You can have a look yourself, because it's also in English and they have all the sources.